Was there a moment that you knew that music or the arts was going to be your life's work?
No. That is the answer there. I did not stand in a bedroom with a hairbrush singing into it. That was not me. I started in this, I got my actor card when I was 6 months old. I've been working since I was 4. So it's just always something I did. And it ended up being the only thing I knew how to do at a certain point. Oh, I can't type, I can't drive, I didn't go to university, what the heck, I guess I'll sing. It's just always been what I did. There was never a moment. There's been plenty of moments where I've thought, what the heck am I doing? I need a job. But it was more that way than that way. I never dreamt of being a performer. It's what I did, what I do.
So take me back to those early days when you were 4 and 5 with the Mervishes, for example. Did you learn about discipline and work then that's carried you through?
Not so much. Ed Mervish it was like summer camp for our family to go and do theater with Ed. We did a slew of plays with Ed, Porgy and Bess, Finian's Rainbow, there's a million of them. But it was Ed that suggested I go to the National Ballet School. And it was Ed that paid for me to go to the National Ballet School, including my shoes. And that is where I got focus, discipline, and the ability to work through pain. That is what I learned from the National Ballet. And I carry that with me always. I didn't have musical training. I had ballet training, which, in a punk band doesn't really help so much, except you're tough, because all the ballerinas are surprisingly extremely tough and really good athletes. Along with the creative side, you have to be a really strong athlete. So I learned from the ballet school, and I loved being at that school. I love the National Ballet. I lean into it deeply at all times. It keeps coming up in my work and my focus and my inner strength and my core strength, and even physically the way one sings is to stand and allow the diaphragm, and the ballet gave me all that. Not a singing teacher, but Betty Oliphant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what's the best advice you ever got?
Well, it was from Ed Mervish, who said 2 things to me as a 5-year-old, which I hear it all the time. He said, always look up and sing to the cheap seats. Those are the people that really love you. So always sing up. And the other thing was, he said, when they say your name, count to 5 before you walk out there. Make people wait a little bit for you. I was 5 years old. Wait, what is waiting to a 5-year-old? But it did resonate with me, and I still do that. I still sing to the cheap seats, and I still wait a couple seconds before I walk out there.
So last night when you were inducted at Rideau Hall, they talked about your philanthropic work and your activism and mentioned Kumbaya and the Black History Project and just so many other things, the jazz festival that you've been involved with over the years. Where does that come from for you, and why is it so important to who you are?
Well, I'm not very comfortable with the spotlight, as it turns out. I don't really like being famous, as it turns out. I much prefer to not be famous. But it's part of my job to do that. So I've, over the years, figured out a way to take that fame and bright light and shine it on other things and use it to do things with. So it allows me to be more comfortable with fame because it's a tool in my tool belt to help me do the things I really love doing, which is putting people in a room and getting them to make things and just standing there and watching them make things. Like, I love that. And of course, Kumbaya, Denise, you were my partner in that. You built that with me. And that was very exciting because that was a direct result of me being tired of doing benefits where I was the only one not getting paid, and everyone else, the lighting guy, the sound guy, everybody, caterer, everybody's getting paid, and they're the artists paying our cabs and our dry cleaning bills. And I kind of got tired of that. I said, I'm going to create something where everything's donated, every single thing. So when our artists walk on that stage, they're not the only ones giving up their royalties for those couple of days, like Rush did, like Tom Cochrane did, like big Canadian acts, just wrote that off for us that day. And I felt really comfortable asking them because everything was, even the venue was donated with the insurance. And you remember, Denise, you helped me do all of that. But that was a great way to ask an artist to do something for nothing when everybody's doing something for nothing. And that's how we raised the money and the awareness that we did with Kumbaya.
And HIV/AIDS.
And HIV/AIDS, right? And we had, I think my shining moment there was when Doug Gilmour walked on stage with that hockey stick. And Doug Gilmour, at the time, I know it's hard to believe, but the Leafs were actually winning. They were actually playing good hockey. So he was kind of the most popular man in Canada. And how do you get a 15-year-old boy's attention? You bring out a hockey star with a hockey stick who puts a condom on the end of it. And he showed the nation how to put a condom on with his hockey stick. And if that isn't Canadian enough for you, I don't know what is, because that was an exceptional moment that burned into my brain with all the other amazing things that were happening over those years. That one moment with Doug Gilmour was really incredible.